Nice to be speaking to you. I've really enjoyed the movie, and I was really intrigued by the setup. How did it? I'm going to start with you, Lucy. How did it feel for you to be sort of on the set, not knowing exactly what it was going to look afterwards?
I thought that was kind of a wonderful thing to be a little bit in the dark. I didn't look at the monitor at all, but the set was so sparse. It was really just the house, and they had set up lights, but I think they were outside, or they used the practicals that were in the house. So it was very natural, and it felt more like a theatrical presentation rather than being on a set where you had to kind of jump around the stands and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was actually, and Steven was all in black and behind this small camera, so it really felt like we were just doing a play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were afforded the luxury of filming everything in sequence, which we don't normally get to do, but was very helpful for us, as a family unit to kind of play these beats out in order. And it was interesting. The first thing we shot was that scene with Julia Fox where we were looking at this empty house that we were thinking about purchasing. And then we took, I think, 2 days off from filming, and they moved.
Did we take 2 days
or,
off?
or we took a day off so they could
and then
move in
came
all
back
the
and we were
furniture.
Yeah.
And the house was moved into, and it was magic. And it was, again, the crew was so small, Steven and a sound man and us, that it
And people hiding in
yeah,
corners and
closets
bathrooms.
and
Stairwells.
it felt very lived in.
I'm really intrigued by the sort of the dialogue because it doesn't seem that rigid. Lucy, was there like a definite dialogue, or were you allowed to just ad lib as you went along?
Well, what's amazing about David Koepp's writing is that it was all written. None of that was
Yeah.
improvised. And I think the wonderful thing about how Steven directed it was that as we were talking in the kitchen, the camera would follow Chloe, our daughter, into the other room, but you'd still hear us discussing something, together. And I think the conflict and the wonderful thing for the audience is that they are trying to stretch their senses to see and to hear two different things going on, and it kind of makes it interesting. And we've talked to a couple of people that said that when they saw it the second and third time around, because they were so fascinated by it, the ending, they weren't quite clear, and they wanted to go back. They saw so much more detail, and I can see that now,
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, do you find this kind of sort of obstruction added to the way a movie is made quite like? Do you like working in that kind of environment? Does it make you think about this subject matter more?
Yeah, I think David Koepp has talked about this, and I agree with him, that he likes working with restriction. He likes something that restricts the idea of the project. And ironically, as a performer, it's very helpful as well, because it gives you these kind of guardrails that you have to stay between. And it's a bit of like ubiquitous direction that's just always there. You just always know that this is the restriction that you're working within. And the style in which this film is shot is so unique that at first, we've talked about this, Steven said on the first day, he's like, I hope this works. this might not work, and then if it doesn't work, we're out of luck because there's no plan B.
Yeah.
And this turned out that it worked really, really well.
Right.
Having worked with Steven, Lucy, would you like to work with him more after doing this, knowing how his work ethic is?
If I could just work with Steven for the rest of my career, I would be absolutely great and happy and thrilled, because I really think that he is an artist who is willing to experiment, and I think that's what art is. And that's what filmmaking is about. I mean, I think there's obviously a traditional format and something that people are quite used to with the close-ups and the wide shots and the special effects, but the way that he likes to work is to challenge himself. And I think that creates an atmosphere as actors, as artists, as human beings. It grows you, And so I think as life goes on, you want to continue to grow. You don't want to just become too comfortable.
Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations again on the movie.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
seeing.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!